every failing business has a failing individual. You're the master of that. But once we fix that individual, we still got to fix the business. We got to increase their frequency, their new customer programs, their spend. That's what turns it into the real monetization and substance. Together, our content is invincible. Nobody can change more lives than we can together. So when you sell one without the other, we're short selling them, aren't we? We're setting them up. But we also have to set them up to act. And between us, we do that. So that's a short summary of TVT and what I'm teaching. I even got him impressed for a second. Not bad, huh?
This guy, you know how many people see this guy on TV every week?
91 million.
How many?
It was about, well, last week was about 17 million.
17?
This last week, yeah. Wow. This last week.
Wow.
That's Thanksgiving
So how
week.
many?
91 million this year.
Oh, 91.3
million.
Wow.
I'm the single greatest influencer in nightlife, hospitality, beverages, on all that space.
Yeah.
But don't think of it as hospitality, guys. Think of it as businesses. Think of it as businesses that people go to rather than internet-based businesses.
You know,
if there's
he
four walls.
He told me, let me tell you, we were having dinner one night in Vegas, and he's like, you know, Grant, women love me. And he's like, I can really help you with the women's audience, right? Tell them what you told me about your stats.
So in the world of media, those kind of companies do these e-studies. I'd love to see yours. I bet yours is a freaking monster,
I bet
too.
it's a disaster.
So, no, I bet it's awesome.
I hate that
e-studies evaluate the way the public thinks about different traits of yours. I have the highest trust numbers with women in all of the stable. Women really trust me. I have the highest intelligence rating of any. Ramsey's like 19, I'm 70.
Wow.
So I have the highest intelligence rating of anybody in my space.
What does that mean, intelligence?
Well, it's actually a report that they give you.
They think you're more intelligent?
They think I'm more intelligent than all of them. But Ramsey, I beat like 3-1. And then they rate you on intelligence, trustworthiness, knowledge, and various traits. So
what about on looks?
Looks, you got me on that one.
Hey, John, can you talk to them? So like the way that we're going to be bringing the programs together in the beginning, like we talked about, we're going to be including it in with Cardone University. But then what's going to end up happening is there's going to be a lot of opportunities in your space for companies. Can you tell them about the companies that you've spoken for and working for, and the fact that there's nobody out there like this that is pushing the one thing that's the biggest solution for that industry?
So what do you mean?
Like, we're selling to companies, right?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is we're going to start taking TVT to the big companies.
Yes.
So talk to them about the opportunity and the types of companies that you've worked with.
Gotcha, sure. Right now, my company just provided a guest assessment, and we're redesigning the customer experience.
Wow.
Right now, we're doing an experience audit. We're assessing all of their operations. We just developed all the beverage programs for. We also. I just saw one of their trucks outside, biggest liquor. We develop all of their actual sales
John doesn't
programs,
drink, by the way.
which is something we should talk about, because we're actually working with their sales team, and you would make a huge freaking difference with them. But all of our clients are Fortune 500 companies. Then my podcast launched 14 weeks ago, and we were tracking. I don't know where we are now. We were tracking about 19 in America, and we're doing about 700,000 downloads a month. It's doing really well. And one of the things I wanted to ask you for is if there's certain copy you want me to say in the podcast, certain videos that you want me to make, whatever you need to support this, I will do, guys. So, any messaging, anything whatsoever. I also thought that I'd send down some shirts and some things like that, if it makes sense.
No, we don't need shirts.
Some buttons.
We need deals closed. We need to close
So
deals.
guys, the point is that like the biggest companies in that space in the world
Hire us.
hire him.
Yeah, and when he does a lot of speaking gigs, there'll be a lot of different people in the space that they're not picking up the leads. So when people come up to him at the end of the deal, he's moving off to the next place. He'll have those leads, and those are people we can call and say, hey, we're calling on behalf of Jon Taffer and Grant Cardone. So we were going to do this about a year and a half ago, but we got derailed a little bit. And
it's all right, we're doing it now.
Better late than never.
Yeah, better late than
And then I give a lot of speeches like Grant does. I do about 30 a year. In the next couple months, I'm speaking at the Volkswagen convention. But one of particular interest to us is the Limousine Drivers Association. So I'm giving the keynote at that, which are all small business models all across the country. So, sometimes I wonder if it makes sense if I'm giving a speech at a major event like that, if we don't actually prospect around it.
We'll create.
And focus
we'll add
on
little
limousine
things.
companies for a
Yeah.
week, or try to build around that.
We'll do all
but
that.
I'll make sure we share that schedule with you, and then we're doing some podcasts together, and we'll keep doing some things together to keep cross-building each other's brand.
Love
There's
it.
nothing, Grant, I won't do for him to support his platforms, and I think that's the way we want to have a great relationship together. Then you'll sneak him on Bar Rescue. What do you think?
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Give it up for Mr. Jon
on
Taffer.
Jon.
Come on. Yeah.
It's a long time, Taffer. Let's go, John. Just as the way, just inside stuff. Me and you were having dinner in Vegas, and maybe it was a phone call before then, but you said something to me that was very interesting about how I had done my career without being on TV.
Yes.
And what you thought of that.
It's fascinating to me when I look at Grant and what all of you have accomplished. I mean, he and I go out to dinner, and almost more people recognize him than me. And that happened the first time we met together. Remember we met, we had the first time you and so he did this without television platforms. I mean, I got Viacom behind me and Disney behind me and television stations and millions of people watching me. But I haven't built nearly the platform that he has. So that tells me two things. One, I'm not very good at this. But two, he's amazing at it. And he's built this brand step by step
Just different
himself.
ways. It's just different ways. Because
But it
what
is.
he does on TV and the way he's got an audience to love him and the way he engages and uses Shakespeare in TV, right? I mean, really, to engage an audience. It's just a different way. What he's done is different than what we've done. And
So I think to myself, boy, if I can leverage some of my platforms for Grant, and if he can teach me how to build a brand like he did, wow. This starts to become, we got assets that we could share together that can take us all to a better place. And that's the intention. So
let's go to a better place.
so
Amen
consi-
and hallelujah.